Welcome to episode 96 of the Reptile Gumbo podcast. We took last week off because it was Christmas, and we decided we weren't taking last week off. It was nice.
It was.
And then we took yesterday off because I was the only one that felt good.
Oh, man. I thought I was going to die yesterday.
So something happened with Katie, and her eyes began to turn red and watery, and then Robert's head was hurting him. So
my head was bothering me a little bit, but that tends to happen when you drop an air fryer on your head. Just saying. I was great this morning until I touched my forehead. And then I was like, oh, God, that was a mistake.
I'm just saying, guys, it's very hard to not laugh at your wife when she drops an air
I
fryer
laughed
on her
at
head.
myself, and then I cried about it, and then I laughed some more.
I tried my hardest not to laugh. I really did.
I saw spots. It was bad.
Why are people doing fireworks? It's
I don't know.
fucking December the 29th.
Yeah.
It's just
They're loud, too. Those are some big ones.
They're like right next to our house,
They've been doing small fireworks,
which are all illegal.
and now they're doing some big ones.
Which are illegal. Go tell them to stop.
No,
Oh, okay.
not at all.
So, Christmas or holiday? No, it's not Christmas. Fuck it. It's Christmas break. Let's talk about what we got. I posted some of the stuff I got.
I don't think I got anything animal related.
No, you got lots of books.
I did. I got the
money
books
for
I wanted, which I was excited about.
And candy.
I did get some candy, which I put most of in your ice cream last night.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. I gave animal related gifts.
I posted in our group. I got a Lego set because I like Lego.
Obviously, I've given you lots of animal Lego stuff.
I got it was a 3-in-1. It was a crocodile or a snake or a frog. I've made the snake. I've made the crocodile. I got to post a picture of it. I did make the crocodile. And once I do that, I'll take it apart and then I'll make the frog. And then I'll go back and put the snake together and put it on a shelf. But for other nerds out there, I also got a giant Millennium Falcon that I have to take apart, which I'm super excited about.
An original one.
Original-ish.
Like it's got the original characters.
Yeah, it doesn't have the new ones. So that was pre-built. I got to take that apart and put it back together. So I'm looking forward to that. I got a lot of reptile related books. I put them in the other room. They're all like kids.
Your daughter had fun picking those out.
That was at Half Price Books, I assume.
Yep.
On the kids section. Because it was all kids related reptile books.
Yep.
I think that's it. Animal related. Oh, I got a gift card for fish from Robert, which I think I might buy a new piece of furniture for my fish tank. I don't know if anybody's interested, but that's probably what I'm going to do with it. Robert, did you get anything? I know what you got for Christmas. Tell everybody what you're excited about. It's not animal related.
Yeah, I got one thing.
And you were super excited.
A couple things. I got an Anova sous vide thing for cooking stuff. In fact, we made New York strips in it tonight, and they were fucking amazing.
That's awesome.
So now you can get all fancy.
And then Katie and James snuck into my house when I was out of town
Joe helped. It was not just the two of us.
and used my box turtle and Rachel's big Dumerals boa to paint us a painting. Let the snake and the turtle paint it. It was awesome.
I never took pictures of them, so you'll have to take pictures of them.
Yeah, we're going to. Rachel and I were just talking about that.
Yeah.
We need to take pictures and post them. And
We used to do stuff like that at the zoo all the time, and we would sell them in the gift shop.
We used to have more room. The kitchen counter is not the best place for a 7-foot Dumerals boa.
Is that what y'all did that?
Yeah, we cleared off the island. We covered it in a trash bag. It was very sneaky.
James was going to use Bandit, Rachel's Vietnamese Blue Beauty, but he was not having it, they said.
I got him.
He was good till we got to the top of the stairs.
No, he wasn't.
And then he was like,
he was shitty when I took him out of the cage. I thought maybe if I walked with him, he'd calm down. But I got out the snake room door and he turned around and went for me. I was like, no, we're going to take him back and put him back in.
His bite would probably not feel good.
Yeah. So I decided I've
never bled on a painting before. So I'm glad we didn't test it out. Gosh, James,
my phone.
We silenced our phones.
I know.
Gosh.
But I did make something today that I'm excited about. I went up to Robert's shop today.
Oh, yeah.
And we made a tortoise table.
Your child and I slept until almost noon. It was great.
I slept late. I slept for like an hour after my alarm went off.
I've slept more this break than I think I ever have on any break before. And this is the first time in a very long time that I genuinely feel rejuvenated and like ready to go back to school. Like I was thinking about lessons today, and I checked out some more books on poetry from the library because that's what I'm teaching next week.
I'm ready to go back to work, but
I am. Like, this is the first time in a long time that I've had a break where I'm like, yes.
you interrupted my tortoise table.
I'm sorry. Talk about your tortoise table.
We made a tortoise table today.
I helped carry it up the stairs.
It's quite large.
It is.
It's 2 foot by 4 foot by 12 inches tall. I'll get pictures of it.
It looks really cool, though.
We're gonna get set up tomorrow. We used silicone to kind of make it water resistant, so that when I put dirt and soil and all that stuff in there, water doesn't just flow out the bottom of it like a sieve. But I will get it set up tomorrow for my little cherry head tortoise and get pictures of it and post them up for everybody to see. It is, if you're looking for a tortoise table. Oh, we didn't talk about our sponsors.
We can.
Because if you're looking for a tortoise table, you can talk to one of our sponsors, Robert.
Absolutely.
And tell Chris he can shove it right up his ass.
How'd you know?
Because you're smiling. So I figured you said something over there.
Well, if you are looking for a high quality PVC rack or tortoise table, look no further than Lone Star Reptile Racks. They offer a variety of sizes for all types of snakes, geckos, rats, and more. You can even order something custom. Shipping is available, or you can plan to pick up at a Herps Reptile Show near you. Visit lsreptileracks.com to reach out to Lone Star Reptile Racks and place your order today.
And I was up there today.
Chris said you're so confrontational.
Fuck you, Chris. Oh, but yes.
It's just because he's had to deal with me injuring myself for the last 2 days.
Well, everything today went smooth.
Yeah.
Up until 3:45 when my heat tape that I ordered from Josh's Frogs on Monday finally got here. Ordered it Monday for overnight delivery. They charge more for overnight delivery than any of the other vendors do.
Uh-huh.
I had to order from them because my normal vendor is moving their warehouse from California to Texas, and the heat tape is somewhere in transit.
Oh, yikes.
So, and they charge $1 a foot more than anybody else for it. So I had to order from them. So they didn't ship it out until yesterday. Fine. I get it. They're busy. It gets here today. We got the rack built. I have a customer driving 7 hours tomorrow to pick this rack up. And I was short like 2 feet of heat tape. So I can't piece it together. So I ordered some, paid a premium. I mean, it was 50 feet of heat tape, cost me almost $200.
Oh.
So that's $4 a foot with shipping. It gets here and they sent me fucking 4-inch. Mind you, the rack's already built
with 3-inch
with 3-inch mortises.
Yeah.
So at 4 o'clock, I had to program and cut an entire new rack for 4-inch.
Oh, God.
And sent Josh's Frogs a not so nice email because this is not the first time they've done this shit. They've sent 2 different times. They've sent me rolls of heat tape. And when we get down to the last 20 or 30 foot, it's a bunch of little 1 and 2 foot sections. Like that's just flat out stealing.
Yeah.
That is flat out stealing from your customers because someone took the time to pull those pieces and roll them up in there. That didn't happen from the factory.
Right.
That way they can say they sent you 50 foot.
Right.
But it's really 5 sections of 1 foot
Sure.
and then the rest in one piece.
Right. So, but the last time, so you have to go on their website and go to their chat and you open up a service ticket. Like 2 days later, I get an email that says, I don't remember the wording, but basically that they were closing the ticket because I was now satisfied. And I'm like, you didn't even fucking ask me anything.
I've been left unsatisfied.
So I opened a new ticket
Lord.
and I just looked when I went there, that ticket's still open. They've never responded to it. So if they don't respond by tomorrow, I'm just going to contest it with my credit, with my bank, and they can deal with it then.
So I want to go back to we talked about heat tape there for a second. For anybody listening, because it's something that we see pop up on Facebook groups all the time. If you're doing a rack, you need to have a continuous roll of heat tape.
Yes.
Don't daisy chain your heat tapes together.
Can I ask why?
You're just creating more places for it to fail. There's a reason why the companies who do that don't last long.
Gotcha.
Because
I don't know anything about heat.
They're adding a bunch of cost. They're adding, and you have all these extra plugs. So technically you can do it each. But you need to have every single level will need to have its own thermostat probe.
Oh.
So if you have 6 tubs, you need like a VE 600.
I know what the point of heat tape is, and I know what it does.
6, right? Is that what
But,
it's called? Yeah. Just to run one rack. So
damn.
Well, and there's a couple ways people do it. One, they'll have a 6-level rack, and what they'll do, say it's 2 foot on each level, they'll do a 2 foot, then run wire from that one to the next one.
Mm-hmm.
Do 2 foot and run wire from that one to the next one,
which is just stupid.
A couple of things. Now you have so many different points of contact where electricity is flowing through. You're just waiting for something to mess up. Also, if the third one down or the fourth one down quits working somewhere, you have to go trace back up. It's a pain in the ass.
I recently saw a melamine rack that one of my customers sent me a message because he was buying heat tape. He needed heat tape. He had bought this, or he'd gotten this melamine rack when he bought a collection, and I think it was an 8-tub 41 quart. It was, then they used 12-inch heat tape. I don't understand that. They had each one was wired individually, and they ran to a metal junction box that they had screwed to the side, and all those wires were together.
Oh fuck! Like a one big ball.
Like a one big ball.
That can't be good.
No,
and then with one wire running out with a plug.
No, that can't be good.
That's not good either.
Yeah,
I feel like
luckily
that's
this
a
guy's
fire.
in construction, and he saw it. And he's like, I ain't plugging that shit in.
Good.
We'll see if they do that, or they'll wire each one individually with its own plug, and they'll all plug it in like one surge protector, and then plug that either into the wall, straight into the wall.
Yeah.
Or they'll plug that into one thermostat. But the problem is that one thermostat has one probe, and you have six different heat elements. So yes, the one you have the probe on is great, but the other ones are going to fluctuate like crazy.
And for people who are buying anything out there, if you're buying something from a website, go read the terms of service.
Yeah.
Because like if you buy a rack from me and don't use the thermostat on it.
Yeah, because you've had that happen.
I just had it happen.
You'll have people contact you and bitch about them burning or melting something on their rack, but it's just plugged straight into the wall. Well, of course it's going to.
Or it's plugged into a.
But if you don't have it on something to regulate that temperature, it's just going to run and go. Come on, folks. Even I know that.
You would think, but common sense is not very common anymore.
Jeez,
no, they buy
or they buy the $12 jump start, which I use occasionally for short term, but they'll leave it on for how until it fails, because it's going to fail.
Yeah.
What they don't realize, and what I try to educate people on all the time, I don't even do it in the ball python groups anymore when I see people with them, because you'll get people that just, well, mine works fine. Yeah, it'll work till it doesn't. It's like an airplane. It'll go right to the scene of the crash.
Look, those little round top dialed $20 thermostats.
Well, I'm even talking about like the seed germinating thermostats off Amazon.
I used those Zillow type ones for a decade or more. And they will work. And look, I know plenty of stories where they failed, and I got lucky. It didn't happen once to me, but I have since hooked everything up to a herpstat. Everything is plugged into a herpstat, and I will never go back from it.
Right.
It's the best thing I've ever done. I can walk in there at any point and see exactly what the temperature is. I've walked in before and heard alarms going off, and walked in and realized that it was too high or too low. Something happened. It tripped or whatever. So, I mean, there's way more. And plus now they're coming out with the, where you can actually monitor it online.
Mm-hmm.
As that gets better and better, it's going to be, I mean, there's no reason to not do it that way.
I actually have it in my terms of service now that you have to use a proportional thermostat, because even like a herpstat one, not a herpstat one, a VE100, it's an on-off thermostat. That is not acceptable. That's for a heat mat.
Well, it's okay. Let's do a little
for heat tape.
Here. A 6-tub sweater box or 41 quart rack costs how much from you?
$650.
$650. All right, that is $650 for just the rack.
Mm-hmm.
You were then going to put 6, let's say, ball pythons in there at an average of $300.
Yeah,
$300 a piece.
There's another $1,800.
That's $1,800.
Sorry, I promise I'm listening.
So you're at $2,400.
You're at $2,400, and you're going to use a $20 thermostat to run that.
Yep.
Ooh, no,
That math doesn't make fucking sense.
No.
It doesn't. Like, there's no.
I
reason.
see it every day,
and I get that the problem is we're in a hobby where we are very much let's see how it's the cheapest we can do this at. And
it's not just this hobby.
No,
it's not.
No, but we've been the reptile hobby for the longest time has been a very MacGyver like hobby, because we haven't always had everything made for us perfectly the way it is now. There's a lot of supplies now that didn't exist 25 years ago. But you just got to think about it. It doesn't make sense to put $2,400 or whatever on a $20 thermostat and go, we're good. And then you got to imagine that person is probably going to end up getting another 6-tub rack or a 10-tub rack, and they're going to do the same thing. And now you're talking $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 and a $20 thermostat.
Mm-hmm.
When you could have just not bought one ball python and bought the thermostat.
Well, what people don't understand is that when that heat tape is on an on-off thermostat, it brings it up to the temperature, and then it turns off. Well, it still raises 3 or 4 degrees before it turns off. Then it lowers it down, and it has to go 3 to 5 degrees below the temperature before it'll kick back on. So it's just sitting here doing this.
Yeah.
on, off, hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold. And then heat tape is expanding, contracting, expanding, contracting, expanding, contracting. So it doesn't take it long for that brass. It's always the brass
Connector.
The bus inside.
Oh,
the main
line.
bus on.
Yeah.
That's always where it fails because it's expanding, contracting, and it just wears out. And then it gets a short in it. And then I can't tell you, people will send me a picture of the inside of their rack, and there's fucking Reptile chip everywhere, up under the tubs, next to the heat tape, and I'm like, clean your shit out, man. And
isn't that a fire hazard?
yeah, you would think so, but
God bless it.
What gets me is you'll see in a group someone ask what thermostat people use, and you'll get 70% say Herbstats, and then you'll have the other ones say VE, which are both good proportional.
Sure.
I prefer Herbstat, but that's just me. I think that's like Ford, Chevy, but then you'll have that person ask like, well, it's too expensive. Well, then why'd you ask? Don't ask. They'll complain that it's too expensive, and that someone will go, well, I use this one and it's just as good, but it's not. The two proportional thermostats out there are VE and Herbstat. Most of them are, like you said, are on off. And I think people get fooled nowadays because a lot of the on off thermostats now have digital reads. So they look like a higher dollar item at $25.
right.
And so unlike the old ones, which, had a little light that would come on and come off as it turned on and off, and it looked cheap, and they were.
Oh yeah, that's like the one I have on my corn snake
right
has
there.
a little dial.
Yeah, you can hear it click on.
Yeah.
If you can hear your thermostat click on and click off, that's what we're talking about. That's
Right.
that thermostat. And so that is the issue. You'll see someone bitch about, well, that costs too much. This one does just as good. It doesn't. There's a reason it doesn't.
So I laugh because in my classroom in Louisiana, we had a couple months where the air didn't work in my classroom. I actually put a thermostat, like a thermometer, on the wall to see how hot it was getting in my room. It was just miserable. But there was like a 3-week period of time where her thermostat never clicked on because it was so hot in my room.
That's crazy.
It was rough.
Well, and Bergoli his joke was, you mean we can't use light dimmer switches? That used to be the thing before thermostats. And there are still some big name breeders, because I've heard some on podcasts recently, that still use the old dimmer switch style.
I don't know what that is.
A rheostat, basically.
Okay.
Where you can turn the dial.
I actually know what that is.
To control the amount of energy being pushed through to your heating element. The problem is with power surges and those, it's not a constant on there. And don't get me wrong, I'm sure many of our animals can deal with a wide range of temperature fluctuations, but your equipment can't always deal with a high range of temperature fluctuations, like Robert was saying with the heat tape. So the old way of using dimmer switches, which was what they used to do before thermostats, it doesn't work either. And James knows that. But
well, and like your dad said in the chat, any hobby worth doing is worth doing right.
He would know. He's only been through about 20 different hobbies.
I mean, you've got quite a few yourself. You've stuck with them, though. I'll give you that.
That is true. I don't know the last time my dad went golfing or rode a bike. So
he rides his
well,
Harley.
He has a motorcycle now, but I'm talking you didn't know him when he rode a road bike, like a thin wheeled, thin tire road bike.
I've seen pictures.
Like a sausage on a bike. Great thing is I can say shit to him, and all he can do is type back. I don't know.
You can kick him out if you wanted to.
So yeah, that was one thing I wanted to hit on the heating thing. I see it a lot lately, and especially with winter, because all right, so winter has not existed during this winter.
Shut your mouth. It's coming Sunday.
But Sunday it's coming. Yeah. So listen, for anybody listening, Sunday is the day that shit is going to fail.
Oh God.
Just a heads up. Anyone in the South, if you haven't had winter yet, it's coming on Sunday.
And if you haven't seen the post on Facebook, the high on Saturday is 85. And then the wind chill on Sunday is supposed to be 27. So I just got over all this sinus crap and my ears are finally clear and I'm done with all my medicine. And I'm so scared that it's all going to get jacked up again and I'm going to get sick again because the weather won't make up its damn mind.
Everyone double check if you've got radiator style heaters, oil filled heaters going on in a room to keep it. Double check that because it's going to work a lot more starting Sunday than it has the past however many months. If you have a separate building that has its own heating, double check that because it is Texas. It's Texas. Just get ready because this is the time that things fail. Just like when the first warm day of summer hits, everyone's air conditioner breaks.
Very true.
This is the part where everything's going to freeze. The problem is with our hobby is this is the part where everything will freeze to death because no one's going to be double checking things. I am paranoid because my tortoises are back in Louisiana and I'm not there with them to go through this whole process. So
no, but my dad's done a pretty good
my
job.
in-laws are going to be taking care of them.
They really are. I just
what?
We may not have heat in our house.
Which house?
This house.
We have heat.
I don't think it's connected.
Oh, because of that. Ooh.
They never came back to finish.
You better call them tomorrow.
Yeah, you better call tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, because when they were up there to check on one guy was up there. What was he doing up there? He was doing something else, and he noticed that.
And he was like, "Hey, your stuff's not connected, but it's all turned off. Like we don't have like an open gas line or anything."
Yeah.
Shit, they're going to tell you to get the gas company on to hook it up, probably, or to make sure that it's on.
It was when they came and replaced a part on our air conditioner.
The great thing is we rent, and it's their fucking job.
Right.
Oh yeah. Ooh.
So we'll call them tomorrow. If not, I have.
We have layers. We'll be fine.
I have a radiator style heater that I'll put in my snake room.
I rode it out in one of these houses in the freeze last year, and it was cold, but lived.
Also, this is a great time for any of you out there that have been waiting for this weather so you can brewmate your stuff. It's coming. Now, the bad side is in like 5 days afterwards, it'll probably be 90 degrees.
Not even 5. I think it's only 3.
So, but it is the day. I'm going to go ahead and pull my rosy boas out. They've cleared out, and I can go ahead and pull them off heat, put them in the closet in a shoebox, and have them go through somewhat of a brumation. My rubber boas have been in the cooler covered in ice for the last however long. My dad said we'll have the AC on. We probably will still have the AC on with 30-something degrees.
Poor
outside.
Sam. He always freezes when he comes to our house.
I'm never cold.
He and my dad both of the dads when they come to visit are always freezing
because they're old. They're old and brittle,
Oh,
and they start to get cold easy.
I just got muted in a freaking snake group.
That's funny.
What'd you say to piss somebody off?
I said the word no. Somebody said, "Is anyone else overcome with pride when their snake sheds?" And I said, "No."
No.
They muted me for being
because
rude.
you did what you're supposed to.
You
do.
asked the fucking question and I answered it. Honestly,
You did not give him the answer he wanted, which is how the internet works.
Yeah, I would have been a lot more snarky.
Speaking of-
yes, I go in there and I do a little cheer and I said, "Good job, snake.
Hip hip fucking hooray!
You did what
Oh
you're
my
supposed to
gosh.
do."
You didn't die, and your skin came off.
Yikes.
I did see in a group that Facebook is now coming down on tricks that we have tried to use in the animal hobby to still be able to sell animals online. Now the Facebook is hitting you if you put the little airplane emoji there. A lot of people will put that next to when an animal is ready to fly.
Oh, that's pretty smart.
Not
Not anymore.
That's going away.
I didn't know that.
Oh,
If there are pictures involved, I'm not going to figure out what the hell it's supposed to mean. Those games where you get like different emojis that mean different things, you need to figure out. Yeah, I suck at those.
other things on here said now PM. They look for the letters PM because we always tell people to PM us
To message
details.
you. Yeah.
Available, the word available, rehome, message, adoption. Those are all now being hit by the wonderful.
It's not going to be just reptiles, though. It's going to be.
No, it's all.
No, it's all.
everything.
But they hate animal sales. PETA has too much control in Facebook, and they get their way. So anybody out there, just know that they're looking now. So if you do post with that, it's there. That came up in a group today. I saw that in the Houston group. So that's there. I wanted to go over some of our listeners' Christmas gifts. I asked our Christmas gifts they got animal related. Ryan Goslow got a book on dinosaurs and BBC's Spy in the Wild.
That's cool.
I don't know that, but I do love BBC because it always has Sir David Attenborough,
Mm-hmm.
which is the best voiceover of anything ever. Jason Miloradovich said a day off to clean cages. That's what he got.
Hey, that's important sometimes.
April Justine said a reptile pattern. Oh, fuck, man.
It's a cute little sweater for her cat.
For her fucking ball sack.
No
No one knows what her ball sacks are. They're hairless.
They're hairless cats.
Ugh.
They get
You'd have to
cold.
be an OG listening to this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do miss making fun of the ball sacks every week. Emily Aminette said I got a whole ton of gift cards for pet stores from my family. I spent $100 on rats and it feels so good. I don't have to buy any for a while. I do love when I make a giant rodent order and my freezer is full. It's a weird feeling that I think only reptile people get, but like rodent order day when rodents come in, it's always fun.
I feel that
Yep.
way whenever I meal prep for the lizards or the tortoises for the week.
I thought you were gonna say for you. I was like,
No.
what was that?
I don't meal prep for myself, but I do for the stuff that we have that eats greens and vegetables and fruits and things like that. And whenever I meal prep for them and like all their little containers are stacked in the fridge, I have a sense of accomplishment. So I get that. I can understand.
Well, she also said her boyfriend got her a really nice thermometer / hydrometers, a nice snake hook, and a lot of wood for her enclosures.
That's cool.
That's one thing you can always like. I know sometimes it's tricky to buy things for people, but you can always buy them supply stuff or gift cards. Amazon gift cards are great because you can buy anything. But everybody can always use a hook. I've got like 4 hooks, and I could probably still use like 3 or 4 more. The thermometer thing reminded me. I know we were talking about thermostats earlier. I need newer people in the hobby. If you're listening for some reason you found this podcast, I apologize. But a thermometer and a thermostat aren't the same thing.
Nope.
They're not. They're just not.
Mm-mm.
They're not. And all the times I've seen in Facebook groups for someone, well, you need a thermostat for that. They go, I've got one, and they'll post a fucking picture of a thermometer. I'm like, the fuck's that gonna do? Besides tell you how hot it is when your animal cooks. So a thermometer measures temperature. A thermostat controls the temperature. Just please know that. Angel said she got Angel Villalobos. I got 2 short-tailed poos and a regurgitated rat pup. I'm sorry.
Ugh.
That sounds horrible.
Smells rough.
I wouldn't even think about the smell, but now I can think about the smell. The
Yeah.
smell of a regurgitated rat is horrible.
Yeah.
Patrick said my partner told me she will pay for one of my dream snakes, a mandarin rat snake, once I find one and have it set up for it.
Yeah, I know where you can get one.
I know is it still there, Owen?
I don't know, but
I don't know.
probably.
There is one at the Herb's Reptile. Speaking of Herb's Reptile shops, we didn't talk about Herb's Reptile shows.
Nope. I covered my sponsor. You didn't cover your 2.
I know.
You
Herb's
dropped
Reptile
the ball,
shows,
James.
Because we don't have any for the rest of the year, and so I haven't thinking about it.
There's like 2 days to the rest of this year.
So my statement is still true.
Oh my God.
Don't remind me. Rent's due in 2 days.
Herb's Reptile shows, which I will pull up the dates here. I know
Connor is the last weekend of January.
It's my birthday weekend.
Longview is the weekend before that.
So Oklahoma City, January 15th and 16th.
Mm-hmm.
Longview, Texas, January 22nd and 23rd.
Mm-hmm.
Go there, get you a grilled cheese sandwich off the grilled cheese sandwich truck.
Absolutely.
And then Conroe, January 29th, 30th. And then a month later is Corpus Christi, Texas, February 26th and 27th. And then shortly after that is the New Orleans show for those of you that are farther east. New Orleans on March 5th and 6th. And then Bryan College Station, Texas on March 12th and 13th. And while you're at that show, go by and visit the Herb's Reptile shop also, just so you can check
And the
it out.
week after that is spring break. What?
Is it really?
Yeah.
During March?
Yep.
Of course, it's going to be during our show or anything.
No.
That'd be helpful.
Or like our trip that we're taking in March.
Oh, that's true.
It's okay. So we will not be at the New Orleans show.
And then Nathan
We will be out
Holcomb.
of town.
Nathan Holcomb got books. He got U.S. Guide to Venomous Snakes and Their Mimics. That could be a cool book. I don't have that one. This would be good. I don't have this one. Steve and Me by Terry Irwin, which is a good one. I don't have that. James Rose said, they'll close the store for that show. That makes sense.
James, is the mandarin rat snake still there?
That makes sense. They don't want to be a competition for the vendors. I like that. It's a great idea.
That's a cool. Yeah.
James would be excited because he gets to come to a show.
Yeah.
Well, he was at Austin on Sunday for a little while.
Yeah, that's the problem. Bergoli's been busy in the shop.
Mm-hmm.
And then he also got a book going back to Nathan's by Bob Irwin, by Steve Irwin's father, The Last Crocodile Hunter, Father and Son Legacy.
Yep, it's still there.
The Mandarin Rat is still there. So hey, if you want that Mandarin
I'll
Rat,
post on it for him. I'll post for the guy. I'll tag it.
there's a Mandarin Rat there. It's a pretty one.
In fact, if you go back on the Herp Shop's post from about 2 weeks ago, that was like his animal of the day that he was holding.
Mhm.
And he's very
watching
friendly
him
and
bite
like
him.
James Bergola.
Bite him. Except, yeah, because it's the only person that's ever bitten was James.
It's James.
That-
I've
well,
seen
I
other-
don't know about now, but
I've seen other people hold it. I held it the day that Sean got it. It
Yeah.
was great. Although granted, it was at a show and cold.
Yeah.
So that's the old.
well, Rachel had been, I think, holding it just before it bit James.
It shed that day too.
Mm-hmm.
That was at the grand opening.
James.
But James is
Well.
like me. They just bite him.
I just saw your stargazing snake picture.
Oh, and then our other awesome sponsor that I forgot to bring up was Wiregrass Exotics. The Rue is over at the Wiregrass Exotics in Ozark, Alabama. Go by and visit them. Get you some feeders. Great feeders there. Another thing that happened this week, new episode of the Reptile Fight Club came out with our good buddy Travis. Travis Weinman was on it.
Did you listen to that already?
I did listen to it. I listened
I
to it
heard
while
you
I was doing
listening to
Lego.
it while you were messing around with Lego last night.
By the way, plural of Lego is Lego. Just throwing that out.
I've actually seen. We won't get into that. Never mind.
From the company, it's Lego. I'm going to go with
Well,
the company's right. Anyways, so the episode of Reptile Fight Club was about whether you should get your animals tested or not, which was very interesting because you had Travis Wyman and you had, well, Dr. Travis Wyman and Dr. Why did my brain just going? Justin Julander. I'm sorry, Justin. Discussing it, and they both had to take opposite sides. And there were very good points on both sides. I don't think anybody completely disagrees with the idea of testing an animal if it's sick. If it's sick, you should definitely test it, find the issue. But there were definitely some good points made for the non-testing side. And it wasn't so much about non-testing, but more about our lack of understanding the things we're testing. And we're seeing that with the viruses that we currently have going on. One of them was that there are many viruses that fall in the same family of some of these viruses we worry about with our reptiles that are actually not harmful, so that your animal can have, but they're not a harmful virus. But when tested, they will pop positive for the virus you are worried about, even though it doesn't actually have it. And one of the issues was there's lots of people that have gone out and they've killed collections because they tested positive and they killed the whole collection, which was probably an overreaction on some points. But it's a very good episode. You should go check it out. The two of them know what they're talking about when they talk about viruses. That's kind of their jobs. So listen to it with the idea that they actually know what they're talking about. Not the same as everybody else that posts on Facebook that knows viruses, apparently, because apparently everybody's a virologist.
What?
A virologist.
Is that what
I'm
they're
telling
called?
you, watch the movie Don't Look Up.
I'm going to.
We haven't done it yet.
Oh
but
my
yeah,
God. It is
everybody has said it's great.
a perfect parable for today.
People giving
I mean,
facts.
it goes as far as like these scientists are like, there is a fucking comet coming. It's an extinction level event coming for Earth. And people are like, it's just propaganda. Don't believe the scientists. Don't look up. Because the people are, because they're saying, just look up. You could see it.
Yeah.
And that was the whole thing is
The
don't
whole
look
thing.
up.
Don't
Yeah.
look up.
But you should definitely listen to that. I liked it. One point they made was that people don't want to test because they're afraid of the stigma of being tested positive, then nobody buying from them ever again, which is something that happens, unfortunately. I think we should be okay with talking about the negatives and realizing that everybody goes through them, whether they mention them or not. Everybody's had, mites. If they haven't, give it time. You'll probably get them. Everybody's had an animal or two. If you had enough of them, and over time, just die.
Yep.
It happens. And sometimes
it's never the $20 normal.
No.
They're
Of
like,
course not. It's always the $7,000 snake you have.
yes.
I've never had a 7,000.
Well, it was just a number.
That's a very big number.
I have a couple of $4,000 ones that every time I go in there, I'm like, still
Be
alive.
alive.
Thank
Be
God.
alive. Now start fucking.
Yeah. They're not quite big enough yet. He is. She's not.
Get bigger and start fucking. But so yeah, that episode is really good. I watched the new snake discovery episode. Everyone is going to Costa Rica. I guess it's the one place that's open that everybody can go to and herp because they went there. Dave Kaufman went there.
There's a group of Girl Scouts going in June. Joe's not old enough. I was super bummed.
Girl Scouts are going there. Adam Wickens went there.
We have another comment on what did you get for Christmas? Chris Burns said he got a snake hook and some vines for the geckos from one daughter, a Steve Irwin Funko Pop from another daughter, and a couple of tortoise books, and this tortoise shirt from my wife. And that tortoise shirt is pretty cool.
Wow, that's a cool shirt.
Yeah, it's like the moon and the tortoise is up on a rock, and it's
Like on Pride Rock almost.
Cool.
Yeah.
Speaking of Steve Irwin Funko Pops, if anybody that's watching online, you can see I got all 4 Steve
I
Irwin
knew he was
Funko
going to
Pops.
say that.
Because I'm super proud of them.
You should be.
I got-
Your awesome wife bought them all for you.
She did. I got the dog, the snake, the crocodile, and
Fucking
the turtle.
sea turtle is a bitch to hunt down too.
The dog came like 2 months earlier or a month earlier than it was supposed to come.
Yeah.
But so yeah, they went to Costa Rica talking about snake discovery. They went to Costa Rica and they did a whole episode on inverts. And you'll like this, Katie. Guess what they found in Costa Rica?
What they find?
Halloween crabs.
What?
Wild Halloween crabs.
That's cool.
They also, I didn't realize
I like
this,
Halloween crabs.
I've never watched moths go through change, but they found this giant moth that had just come out of cocoon with these little tiny wing nubs. Like they weren't full wings. Apparently, when they come out, all the liquid and all the whatever in their abdomen has to go into the wings, and it causes the wings to get bigger. So over the rest of the night, they kept going back to this tree, and you could see the moth wings getting bigger and bigger each visit until they were like full size wings,
That's kind of cool.
which is kind of cool because I've never seen that before. Oh, and I didn't mention on the last one. I talked to you about it. I didn't mention the new snakes that Emily got over there at Snake Discovery. We talked about they got that whole collection of indigos.
Oh yeah.
There was an entire collection. I forget how many indigos it is, but they're all adult, huge indigos. And then they got 2 of Robert's favorite snakes that he does not own that he wants, which were black milk snakes.
Yep. I'd love to get some black milks.
Those are, again, I talked about before. I don't understand why there's not more of them in the hobby. We've talked about it. I think it's because the babies don't start out black. They start out tricolored, but they turn black and they're bigger and thicker than a king snake, and they're really pretty. I think for anything animal related that we've had go on lately around here.
You know, I'm never going to catch listeria from a salad. People are dying from listeria from bag salads. I'm never going to be one of those people.
It's never going to be my problem.
Never.
I'm safe.
Because I don't eat salads.
Now, if my...
Where the fuck did that come from?
I just popped up on my...
Okay.
Facebook.
Just making sure. I was like, did I miss something?
I just like to throw a curveball in the conversation every once in a while.
Let's go through some of the...
Hey, there's Antoine.
No, that's not Antoine.
Oh, you're right. I read it wrong.
I'm looking through some of the things on our Facebook group, and there's a cool picture. A lot of pictures.
Yeah.
Lots
Man,
of
I
pictures.
haven't.
One thing was cool. There was a video that got posted on there, and a couple people actually posted it. It was of a pig nose turtle hatching.
Yeah, I saw that. That was cool. I did see that.
With like little ping pong balls they put in the water, and all of a sudden turtles come out of it. But I was trying to see what else was on there. Oh, there's weird ass giant fuzzy. Oh, the giant fuzzy spider pillow that we had a weird awkward conversation about.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that now. There's a lot of stuff I should also read the Travis, because Travis posts all this really like smart stuff. That would probably make me smarter if I read it, but I just haven't. I can say that, speaking of Travis, and we talked about Jason Miloradovich earlier, our new podcast, I should be putting it out tomorrow. I'm probably lying to you, but my goal is tomorrow. If I can find intro music, I need to find some good intro music, and it will probably change because I'll probably find some and I won't like it. But I just want to get the episode out there. But Pint Size Reptile podcast will be coming out. Our intro episode will come out tomorrow, and then the plan is next week should be the In Blue podcast.
That's cool.
Their first episode should come out next week, the first week of January. And then from that point on, every other week, you'll get either a Pint-Sized Reptile podcast or an In Blue podcast. They'll alternate week to week. And then we'll still be here every week.
That's exciting.
I'm very excited. The fun thing about that versus this is I like this one, but those I can do 2 or 3 in advance, and then put them out. So I know that I've already done one on rubber boas, which I loved. And then the third episode is going to be very interesting when it does come out. It's a monk. He used to not be a monk. He wrote an exotic pets book in the 80s under a different name, but now he's a monk. And it was one of the most interesting and enlightening conversations I've ever had about the hobby. So I look forward to that one coming out probably somewhere around the end of January. I know it'll be somewhere. I just haven't looked at the calendar, and I don't feel like doing math, but it'll be there. Trying to see if there's anything else to talk about. There's a lot of stuff posted on here. Oh, I posted there was a video. Did you see the video of the 2 tortoises humping next to the leopard?
No care whatsoever.
I did.
Leopard's just sitting there, and the 2 tortoises like, you know what? We're going to fuck right here. And then leopard's like, I'm really uncomfortable.
I saw that our friend Russell Southard yesterday had a sulcata laying eggs in his backyard yesterday.
In December.
Because that's how hot it is here, y'all.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yep.
Oh, I like this one. Max posted an article that says, with tourism suffering, sea turtles are thriving in peace in, I'm assuming it's pronounced fuck it. But
Phuket, Thailand.
Yeah, it was redhead. The picture was redheaded tortoise babies. They couldn't find a sea turtle picture at all. Like, oh, this will work. So that was an interesting one. That's always fun to see, is like the amount or the lack of work that people put into pictures for articles online.
Yes.
You'll see the wrong shit always on those articles. Oh, anyways, there was something else I want to talk about. I couldn't remember what it was. I don't remember. Katie. Oh, Katie said there's a saying that I've never heard. It was mentioned on a TV show the other day, and it is herp related in a way. And I want to know if anybody else has heard this besides Katie and the one person on this show. But it was talking about doing something. If you've got several things you got to get done,
and there's something that you don't want to do,
doing that one first.
To do that first.
And Katie, what was the saying?
You eat the frog first.
Have you ever heard that one, Robert?
Never heard it.
Never heard it. I've never heard of that one.
Yeah.
Katie and the one person on this TV show.
I was like, yeah, I've heard that.
The one was like, eat the frogs. What the fuck does that mean?
I even came into the living room to explain it to you before she explained it on TV.
Never heard that one. So I just want
Yeah.
anybody out there, let us know if you've heard.
You do the one thing you don't want to do first in your day, and then you have the rest of the day for
And if
everything
you've
you
ever
want to
called
do.
it "eat the frog," which sounds worse the more times I say it.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah,
I mean, I've heard things like when you have a big task ahead of you to eat the same,
Like an
the
elephant.
same way as eat an elephant, one bite
at a time.
Yeah, that I've heard. But Darren Watson never heard "eat the frog" either.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, the camera has been shifted because I can't see the chat box anymore now.
What are you talking about?
Our camera.
Oh.
When I was fussing when I tried to get to my spot because it's been moved.
I'm fairly certain Rachel pulled
It may have been when
Well, I've moved
recorded.
it around several times, but
No.
I pretty much put it back where it was.
No, it's not.
Tough shit. This is our last week with our stockings.
It's also the last week for your December giveaway.
It is. It is. If you're listening, you need to go to our Facebook page right now and comment on our pinned post at the top so you can win yourself a block of coconut bedding from
Reptile.
God, my brain is. There are days I'm worried. Emily Eminette says she's never heard of it. You're saying, I don't understand it. Like, I don't understand it. Like, don't people like to eat frogs? So how does that equate to doing something you don't want to do?
It's really funny that you say that. So the show that we were watching was Making It with Amy Poehler and Nick Offerman.
I love Nick.
It's a crafting show. It's freaking hilarious because I love the two of them.
I have to watch that because Nick Offerman's the best.
When he laughs, like genuinely
laugh,
laughs,
it's a stupid
it
sounding
makes
laugh.
my
I'm sure.
heart just happy.
Well,
It's
like
so great.
I am him when I'm in Lowe's.
Oh my
People come up, do you need
God.
any help? I know more than you do.
I
just keep walking.
fucking love the
It's
show.
fun to listen to him like chime in on certain things because everyone's used to his character he played on Parks and Rec,
Right.
but that's
Not who he is.
it is and it isn't. He's not that harsh, but all the woodworking and crafting stuff that he does,
That's 100% him.
Right.
And so like he'll give out like these weird obscure facts about wood and woodworking and all this stuff.
Or a creator, or like yesterday he taught somebody how to use a grommet tool, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, this is the best day ever." Nick Offerman just taught me how to use grommets. Like it's just. Anyways, third season.
There's also pictures on the grommet package. I'll tell you how to use.
There are. Third season, we got caught up finally, and we finished it. But that was his reasoning, Emily. He was like, I don't think that's a very good saying. I enjoy eating frogs, so I would like to eat a frog first thing in the day. And so that was his argument because he had apparently never heard it either. It was
I can't say it's a Southern thing because
I don't know
two of us have never heard it.
Yeah.
We've lived in the South our entire lives. So I think it's just a weird fucking thing that Katie and one other person have ever
Amy
heard.
Poehler.
Amy Poehler.
I mean, it's kind of a famous person.
So she made it up, and Katie heard it the one time she made it up. Is all I can figure.
Oh goodness.
Speaking of frogs, I have toads outside on December 28th.
You had a skink run into your hand the other day.
Oh, it was raining. Yeah, there was a little tiny.
When it was raining,
little tiny skink was on the porch. It was like I put my hand down and just ran up into my hand.
I called a little baby a knoll.
It rained for the first time. I don't know how long.
All the lizards and toads are still out and about in the yard.
They won't be on Sunday.
I hope they have somewhere warm to go. Probably our
the
garage.
weird thing is we could have gone herping on Christmas
or tonight
yeah,
tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
Like it's insane. Like
I mean, all the snake ID groups have been busy as shit the last 3 or 4 days.
I bet.
Yeah. So I saw someone posted a Western Diamondback that they found. Someone had a hog nose in their pool today,
right by the shop.
So, and then we're going to the zoo tomorrow. It'll be my first time going to the Houston Zoo.
I'm excited. We're taking your kid with us.
I heard.
Yeah, we are taking your kid with us.
Rachel's probably going to come meet you when she's done with the nail appointment.
I'm not looking forward to sweating.
She was telling me that, and I was like, "Oh, so you went and played bingo yesterday while I was at work, and tomorrow you're going to the zoo while I'm at work. That's cool."
Oh, I'm not saying nothing.
I'm glad that I get to work hard so you guys can have fun.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm looking forward. I've never been there. And they have that new, I say new, it opened up. Well, it opened up this year, the new Jaguar exhibit and all, which I think is a regular color Jaguar, not a Black Panther.
Say that again.
The Jaguar, the Black Panther
yes.
thing. Oh, just inside joke.
Say that.
Oh, actually, Howdy's in Alabama. Where in Alabama are you?
The Howdies are on like a cross country road trip. Have you not seen their Facebook?
I saw something about it, but I still want to know where in Alabama she is. Because we're from Alabama.
We are.
So I'm curious when people go to Alabama. Oh, let's see. Emily, speaking of warm weather, it is so warm. Snakes are all around my house, and my 4-year-old niece found one and grabbed it It was nice to her, but I took it from her and it mussed on her.
Oh,
That would happen to me,
yep.
and it would probably bite me.
The kid survives.
It'd be nice
and
to
the
everybody
adult
else.
is like, damn it.
Well, it's like the night we went out herping and I found all those water snakes. And then the one fucking thing that mussed on me was the decay snake.
I had a dog throw up on my foot today at the dog park.
That's gross. That's gross. That's someone's dog would be getting kicked in the face. I can't help it. It would have happened.
The people were mortified. The owners were absolutely like, they froze and just looked at me, and I was like, it's okay.
So this is
Not a big
becoming
deal.
a new thing for our family, going to a dog park. And I'm used to being around reptile people. I understand reptile people. Dog people are fucking crazy. There's one woman at the dog park. She is fucking. You know that kind of woman. The woman that will talk to anybody. Like
You're like, I bet she goes through a lot of peanut butter.
My God. My God. Oh my God.
Yes, I know who those people are.
Oh God. Anyways, this is
She likes sandwiches. Y'all are weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she had two dogs, and they were barking at everyone. And
It was not a friendly bark. Like, hey, let me talk to you either.
It was like,
It was like if you get close to me, I might attack.
and she just sit there and go, I'm like, God, you're horrible. I need to take your dogs away.
I did yell at them once at the dog
There was
when they were barking at the children.
There's a dog park in Clear Lake, and several years back, there was the same type of thing. This lady would bring this dog out all the time, and it was vicious and mean. And a guy brought his dog out one day, and it attacked his dog, and he shot that dog and killed it right in the middle of the dog park.
Shit.
What?
He walked right up. Boom.
Holy shit!
Done. It had his dog. It had his. I would do it if it was Otis.
I'm not saying
if that dog had Otis in his mouth, I'm fucking killing it.
I've said that I would
Well,
snap a dog's neck if
the
it would attack
first
my
day
dog.
we went, he was like, all right, let's hope that I don't have to snap anybody's neck today. And I will say, I was that crazy person in the kitchen, and I was telling Joe, thought I was talking to her. I was talking to Millie. I was like, don't you embarrass us when we go out there
So you know
today.
when I talked about the crazy lady? I slightly married someone that is on the way there.
Well, we all know that.
It's okay. Everybody loves me, though. I guarantee you not everybody loves that other lady.
Because her dogs do.
No, they don't.
No, so I
They
don't
don't
listen to
even
her at all.
listen to her.
There was one dog the other day that had a frisbee, and every time a dog would come near it, it just started growling. I was like, that may not be there.
Dog parks just seem like a disaster waiting to happen.
I'm going to tell you what, though. Millie has been a totally different dog since we started taking her, because at our house in Louisiana, we were on almost an acre, and she could go in our backyard and she could run full speed and get her energy out.
Yeah.
And she hasn't been able to do that since we moved here. And I mean, I assume dogs can also get depressed, but
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, she has just not been herself. And
I felt bad for the one family. One family walked in with 2 pit mixes, and the husband was afraid to stay there with the dogs because he didn't want people to. What was happening? He was.
Oh, so the little one wasn't having it, but I mean, all the dogs were like 4 times bigger than her, so I totally get that. But then the older one, if you're familiar with pit mixes or any bully breed for that matter,
They growl.
they are
mean.
very vocal
Yeah.
when they're excited, and it's not necessarily aggressive. And our dog was over there with her, and they were just playing, but they were in that.
Yeah, our dog
you
only
know,
has one growl,
and it sounds.
Yeah, it sounds
terrible.
vicious.
It sounds really
God.
vicious, but that's her playful growl.
Ashley and Steven are watching us on their phone in a Whataburger parking lot somewhere in Alabama.
Nice.
Yeah, Ashley just posted it under her.
Fun. But yeah, but he was like, we just can't. There's too many people here. We have to go. And
Yeah,
like they left.
He was afraid people
'Cause
would
they
think
were
of his dog was
afraid.
vicious because he has a pit. And I've been there. Like we've had 2 pits, and as our last 2 dogs are 2 of them. Like, if you don't count the little tiny rat ones that we've had. And both times, if you take them out in public, people will love on them. The moment you say pit bull, they back up like it's attacking them.
Mm-hmm.
But they loved it 2 seconds ago.
It's a terrier.
Well,
mix.
the dog that threw up on me today was a pit. And when we got there and he saw Millie, the 2 of them spent a good 10 minutes running full speed and like doing the shoulder bump into each other and like trying to go for the front legs. And she finally found someone who like full on matched her. And then he came over and drank a whole bowl
And
of
then threw
water
up on
and then threw up on my foot. I felt so bad
I'll take
because it was our water bottle.
The
and-
worst behaved dogs at that dog park have not been the pits.
Oh gosh,
Not even
no.
close.
They usually aren't.
They've been the best. The
Um,
little shepherd mixes are funny though.
Well, no, the best was, I know this is turned into a dog podcast, but fucking no one gives a shit. So we have 2 dogs. We have our pit mix, and then my daughter has a fucking rat. So it's like 40 yards long. It looks like a rat.
She's like 12 feet tall though.
When she stands on her back. back legs, so she
Yeah.
can reach the roof.
She's a strangely shaped little
She
dog.
really
She's like-
is.
she's
she
a Chowini, maybe, I don't know, but she's
worships
small.
the freaking ground our
Small
child
but
walks
long.
on, though. Oh my
But-
gosh.
There were no dogs in the big, because there's two. There's a small dog park and a big dog park, and so we brought the small dog over because the only ones there were our dogs, and then some other dogs showed up, and then this like husky mix or whatever.
It was like a husky German Shepherd mix or something.
It apparently thought that our small dog was a squirrel or a rabbit,
It was something.
and it would chase it. And at one moment, it pinned it down, and our little dog yelped. And the pit turned around, started growling. and
Millie was
straight
not
after,
having it.
she thought that it was attacking the small dog
It
and was
was-
about to kill their dog. And I was like,
it was-
"Whoa,
That was the only moment that I've ever seen our dog do that. I was just like, oh, okay. We are protecting each other here.
Emily says cat people are more crazy. I agree. Cat people are more crazy just in the sense they want to own a fucking cat.
Well, that's because cats are crazy because they have so much personality.
No, that's one personality. Serial killer. That's all it is. Serial killer covered in fur.
Like cats will kill you in your sleep if you're not careful. Like,
They're
man.
idiots. But she said a lady came in last week and brought her cat to the fish wall at PetSmart and showed the cat the fish and started to describe the fish to the cat as if the cat understood.
I've never done that with Millie. I can honestly say I have not reached that point of crazy.
If you do,
This one looks like it would have tender white flaky meat. As if it would be a little bony.
this one would go well on crackers.
Oh.
But fucking cat people.
I'm
I don't.
allergic.
I'm allergic to stupid animals.
And apparently a rabbit. God bless it.
Our friend Chris put out his Christmas episode the other day.
Oh, yeah,
that we were
yeah.
on. It was good.
We posted
Cool.
that over on our podcast. I cannot talk tonight. On our Facebook podcast.
And then I think he put out his other episode today, didn't
I
he?
said there
No,
was a post
he's got
today
a-
about another one that's coming out.
No, he's on another one. I thought.
Oh, he's on with MJ.
yeah,
that's
he's
right.
on MJ's.
He's on
tomorrow.
Trap Talk.
On Trap
Yeah.
Talk tomorrow, which I'm gonna say I've never listened to that podcast. Not out of like effort. It's not. I'm assuming it's ball python based.
I think so.
Yeah. So that's
I
definitely
really
not
should
me.
listen to podcasts this week. I've been reading books and listening to audiobooks this week.
Books. What a fucking nerd.
And they're
I've been
not
working.
animal related.
I do want.
Although I did read some cool animal poetry today because I was prepping for my poetry unit next week, and we found a funny one. Joe even laughed at it. It
which
was
means
about
it's probably not funny.
no, it was
If
a
you
little
and
bit.
Joe thought
It had a
was funny,
snake. It had to do with a
It
snake.
doesn't matter. I've seen the two of y'all
It-
laugh at things that are not funny
I mean,
on a regular basis.
we're entertained, so that's
Oh, I
really all that
know.
matters. But it was a poem all about how this child's mother didn't want a dog, and it listed all the reasons why you shouldn't own a dog. And at the very end, the boy goes, "Well, it's too bad she didn't want the dog because she's definitely not going to want this snake." And that ended up being the pet that he got. It was pretty funny. Oh, that was cute. Shut up, James. Somebody ask your opinion.
Anyways, one thing
Are there still?
I have not seen babies, but I do have. I think that jumping spider up there actually has eggs.
I totally thought that's what you were going to bring up with my mom here the other day, and I was about ready to throat punch you.
Should I go with spiders?
No, that's the one we
No.
should like. That probably would have been a good thing. There's spiders. She'd left. It'd been great.
No.
But no, I think one of my jumping spiders has laid its third clutch of eggs because it has closed itself up in its little like cocoon hammock area.
I need to know how frequently this happens.
Apparently, all the
Because-
fucking time.
It's been since you've gotten her, and she does not have a male with her.
No, both
So she's
females.
retaining all of this.
Both females have laid 3 sets of eggs.
That's ridiculous.
I don't.
But I mean, at least it's not like Charlotte, and
What? She dies.
she dies after she lays her eggs.
That's true. What a fucked up way for that whole book or cartoon.
My students were devastated. Like I gave everybody
You
candy
spend
out of
this
my
whole
treasure
time,
box.
like loving this character, and you're like, oh no, she's dead.
So a lot of my third graders are like, we can't read chapter books. They're big and scary and they hate them. And I'm like, we're going to read Charlotte's Web because it's fabulous and everybody
Did you
should
watch the
read the
cartoon?
book. We did watch the cartoon afterwards.
I've never seen it or read it. Spoiler
Really?
alert.
Really?
Just joking. It's
Oh.
been, it's been
I was
like
like,
30
you-
something years.
I'm like, you grew up on a farm. I thought that was like a requirement for everybody that worked on a farm. But
So
anyway,
read Charlotte's Web.
Yeah, that's
I
not how
don't
we
think
learn
it
how to
teaches them
farm.
how to farm pigs.
I think everybody
No, I was the kid that was like, oh, they're going to kill and eat those pigs. Cool. That's
cool.
what we do.
That's what, yeah.
That's why
That's
like,
how we were
at the
growing
end
up
of Old
too.
Yeller, I don't feel bad because the dog had rabies.
I mean, it happens.
Shit happens.
See, Old Yeller, it doesn't get me anymore. Where the Red Fern Grows,
got
that
me
movie
every time. To get me today.
No, I've
fucks
never
with
seen that one.
my emotions.
Oh look, Lana's late. I've never known Lana to ever be late to a Sunday morning at a show.
Yeah, no, I can vividly remember the first time I read Where the Red Fern Grows. I was in the 8th grade. It was Halloween. I finished it right before we had to go trick or treat. It took me like 20 minutes to get over the end of that book. It was brutal, and I can't watch that, and I can't watch Homeward Bound. I can't.
That book is the reason I got Redbone Coonhounds.
Yes,
when I was a kid.
100%. I absolutely. We knew someone who shows them, or still does. So
she blames Lily.
She still does. Lily is not a morning person.
No, I've heard.
Y'all having a conversation about something happened on a screen that no one listening to this podcast understands.
Oh, well, this whole podcast is a hot mess.
No, it's not. So I went back. I wanted to look back at this past year, and in that I wanted to look back at, because we were wondering when y'all's first episode was. And so I found it. The first episode where y'all became co-hosts, because I've been through a handful of co-hosts. If anybody's been here since the beginning, you know it.
You've stuck with us the longest, though.
I've stuck with everyone. People left me. I can't help it.
You're an asshole. That's what it is.
Maybe you need to look inside, James.
I mean, I'm just saying, I'm here because I'm married to you.
I'm
and
okay with
Robert's
being
the
an
reason
asshole,
we
though.
moved to Texas, if we're
true.
being honest.
Your fucking fault, Robert.
April has a new podcast too.
Is it out? Yeah, I know it's coming.
I think it is.
All right, well, we'll get to that in a second.
Yeah.
So your first episode with me, the two of y'all, was episode 39. That was April's last episode, which I miss April. We got to have her on here at some point.
We do.
Miss April. She was at New Orleans.
No, she was at Slidell.
Slidell.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, God. Speaking of New Orleans,
we had stuff with our child.
Freaking hotels for that show are going to make it almost not able to go. The Airbnbs are all $1,000 or more a weekend.
Ugh.
And the hotels are $500 to $700 for that weekend.
When is Mardi Gras?
It's after Mardi Gras, because Mardi Gras is February.
Okay.
But it's like they said, they won't do blocks, Lori said, because there's still people living in hotels from the hurricane and workers out there. But I looked on booking.com, and I mean, sure, I could stay at a Super 8 or something, but I'm not taking my family there.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could stay in Slidell.
Yeah, maybe.
Not a bad drive.
Drive across the bridge and be there.
But Jesus Christ.
But y'all, do you know who y'all's first guest was?
No.
Joe.
That was your second guest.
Hold on. Travis Wyman.
It was Travis.
And that was a disaster.
The Travis Wyman was y'all's first guest.
We had a very bad connection issues that night, I remember.
And we did have Bill Bradley on when y'all were. That was very beginning when y'all first. He was your third one. With Bill and Joe. Corey Martin was there in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And then came 2021. Our first guest for 2021 was Graham Battison. And then Margaret Speed Franco. That was she had the stickers. I remember that. Those were those really cool stickers.
Her and I are friends on Facebook now.
Are you?
We really are. So
I'm gonna be straight with you. I don't remember.
It was a long time
I
ago.
don't even remember who our last guest was.
Antoine.
Okay, it was Antoine.
I'm just looking over the past year. April was on.
The only reason I remember that is because it's someone who liked to give James a lot of shit, and those people stand out in my mind. Let's be real.
I know we had JT on at some point recently.
Yeah. Sean Gray was episode
both
50.
JTs. We had JT with Reptile and John Grant.
So we're on
Callie
We
Grant.
need to have Callie and John on again.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
So we're on episode 96 right now. And the first episode of the year was 47.
Feels like it.
Sean Gray was our episode 50. Lily and Alana were our episode 51.
We should maybe have Joe on for episode 100.
So we've already passed our 1 year anniversary, Robert, and we
Yes.
didn't do anything special.
No.
It's okay.
James, you are a horrible co-host. You should have done something special for us. We've put up with you for a whole year.
Fuck off. And then we had Max on. Oh, episode 53 was interesting. That was the winter storm roundtable where we talked to everybody that went through the storm.
God, that was a rough one.
That was tough.
But it was. I needed it.
That was
I think a lot of people.
A lot of people needed that.
I think that's the first time I really talked to
Drew
Huff and Drew.
Yeah.
So then we had Jay and Tanya on. Brittany Patchett from Goliath Arachnids.
Mhm.
I need to go to a show. Are we going to Longview?
I don't know because I don't know when I have to be in Louisiana for
That's right.
something.
The hotels are super cheap in Longview. I can tell you that.
If we go, we will have to take 2 vehicles because if I don't have to be in Louisiana until Monday, I can leave Longview and just drive down.
Yeah, that's true. Because I haven't seen Brittany Patchett in a while. Chris Eaton was on episode 56 this year. We had Rob Christian on. I remember having Rob on.
Mhm.
That was good. Then John John Grant and Callie Grant, episode 59. Derek Dykstra from the Rattlesnake Conservancy. That was a good one. I enjoyed talking about rattlesnakes. That was neat. Then we had Joe Phelan on, and then Travis Wyman yet again. Was that the episode?
He's a good go-to for us. We can always find something to talk to about him.
There are no hotels available in Westwego that weekend.
Jeez.
The closest one is the Comfort Inn in Marrero, and it's $634 for the weekend.
Jesus.
Holy
we had the
crap.
Howdies on. We had the Howdies on in May.
Jesus, the Town Place Suites is $1,096 for 2 nights.
Still over there with the
in Metairie. Who the fuck wants to stay in Metairie?
Oh, we had Drew Schultz on from the Learning Zoo. You talked about going to the Learning Zoo soon.
Yeah, so they're having an event. I was actually going to see if Robert wanted to go that Monday. But it's Martin Luther King Day, so we're out of school.
Okay.
But they're doing private tours throughout the day. It's $15 a person, and I figured that actually might work out great if Robert goes, because then you could ride with Robert and Joe and her friends could ride with me, and then you don't have to be in the car with them for an hour.
Well, I'm sure Rachel and Logan will want to go.
Yeah.
I'd much rather ride with y'all than a bunch of little girls. We had Ryan McVeigh on this year. That was great. We talked about VivTech, which I've loved my VivTech light bulb. Great. He's been doing lots to advance that. Oh, we did the Conroe episode. That was a fun one, recording several people at the Conroe episode.
That was different, recording at the show. It was fun, though. Like, I had a good time.
I need to get one more mic, and then that stuff will be so much easier. Oh, I forgot. We also had the Ball Python Genetics Project people on.
That was fun.
Where we talked about them testing the different things. Tell Chris to fuck off. We had Nick Mutton on. You weren't here for Nick Mutton's.
No,
you were at camp.
Yeah. We had Corey that night.
Good Corey.
I watched that one from the office while I was editing pictures.
Mm-hmm.
We've had our buddy Jason Miloradovich. Rachel's been on. Sean's been on way too many times. Terry Hearing. I loved that one.
Yeah,
I wasn't here for that one either.
Terry
was right next to me at Slidell, and he ended up going to dinner with us and stuff in Slidell.
He has the best stories.
Yes.
I love listening to those. I enjoyed our genetics episode this year. We Did the Warren Booth and Dr. Travis Wyman. We did both of them on there. That was great. Just, man, we did a lot this year.
We did.
We had Adeline Robinson, who's been killing it this year as far as being on Facebook and her coverage and everything, because her art's amazing and it pops up all over my stuff. It's great. We had the Hottoberfest.
Speaking of her, I actually gifted some of her art to my sister-in-law.
Yeah, the Loki
for Christmas. It was a Loki one that she did, and my sister-in-law was like, "This is one of the coolest things I've ever seen before." I was like, "Check out her art because you're gonna love all of her stuff."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if anybody's looking for a gift to give a reptile person, find Adeline Robinson on Facebook, and anything on there a reptile person would love to have. It's super realistic.
It worked out in my favor because my sister-in-law also worked at the zoo with us when we worked at the zoo in Louisiana, so she's got the zoo background as well.
Today.
Oh yeah,
but
look, we did some 3D carving and
3D carving a frog.
Oh, that's so cool.
Which means we can 3D carve some other stuff that we have ideas for.
That's neat.
I'll post a photo of that later, but we decided to have all that foam laying around. I said, let's try it, and it came out really.
It takes a while to carve, but it's great.
Yeah.
Hottoberfest. I really
loved that.
I did. We had Dr. Spencer Green on. He was hilarious.
Was really awesome.
Which everybody gets tickets for the Houston Venom Conference next year. But you can get your tickets now.
When is that?
I forget, but we need to get tickets for that. I think it's a show weekend in Louisiana, but that's still it is. And then we had Brent and Chris on from Venom Life. We had Nathaniel Frank from M Toxin's Venom Lab. That was a great one. I enjoyed that.
Mm-hmm.
Our buddy Jason Brumley was on, and Jared Dole was on. And then we had.
Oh, that might be a you by yourself.
Why?
Because it's the first weekend in June. It's the Lafayette show, but I may or may not be at Girl Scout camp.
I don't want to go by myself. That'd be boring.
The week before, I may be home. I don't know.
We had our buddy JT Tomlinson on, and then we had Bill Bradley on. Bill Bradley was on twice this year.
Camp a lot during the summer.
We had Audrey on. We talked about frogs. And then we had Antoine. That's our year. We had a lot of folks on this year, and my goal is to try and get a large amount of different people on next year.
I feel bad that night Audrey was on. I hadn't slept in like 2 nights, and I was flat exhausted, and I just couldn't absorb anything.
I got really excited about dart frogs.
You did.
And it will be happening at some point.
Oh, yeah. That's actually what I was about to ask you is what do you want to see happen in your personal collection, our family collection over the next year?
I want to get dart frogs. I want to try my hand at a full like bioactive planted dart frog one. As far as my collection, I do want to get more. I want more Samboas.
Okay.
Gina is cooking at Lafayette again.
Yes. Y'all ate a shit ton of that gumbo.
I mean, you say that like it's a bad thing.
No, I'm just saying. Every time I looked up, Robert was like, "Hey,
I mean,
Logan,
have you had like
go get some gumbo." Logan was
have
like, "Can I?" And I'd have to give him extra 5 because he wanted a bowl too every time.
Oh yeah.
It was good stuff.
Yeah.
Emily says she loves the episodes that were out of the house, like the opening of the shop. Like, y'all should definitely do more of that.
Those are fun.
Good news. The reason I kind of want to do a review of the year is to look forward to next year. And I've already talked. I made sure I messaged Michael Pinnell, our buddy Michael Pinnell, because if anybody's coming,
God, I got to book a hotel. I got to book a hotel that weekend.
The weekend of the NARBC Arlington, which is
the
February
12th and 13th of February.
We're going to actually be there with our buddy Michael Pinnell. He's got a spot for us to set up, and we're going to be doing interviews. He's calling it the Pit. And we're going to do interviews from Arlington. It's going to be great because Robert won't have a table there. He's not vending, so he'll actually get to like hang out and talk. Katie will get to hang out.
Yes, Bergoli. We know we hate fruit flies.
I do hate fruit flies, but Bergoli, Audrey said she would go ahead and culture them for me, and I'll just get them from her. And that's
she's going to do all the work for him. Let's be real.
But so if you can make it to NARBC Arlington, come by and see us at the Python and the Pear Tree booth. And we can maybe have you on for a minute, talk to you a little bit. That's gonna be a fun one. It's a big show. I've never been to that one. We've been to Tinley, but you've never been to Arlington either. You've never been to like a big reptile show, right?
No.
I mean, Conroe's big, but like the NARBC show.
No, I haven't.
Big. So we are going to try to do more. I am going to try and for Conroe, I am still going to try and take the equipment and do that one because that's where we get to see a lot more people. But I enjoyed doing those little 15-minute interviews with people at shows. So yes, we will try and do more of that this year. Robert, what are your hopes for, I guess, your business, or I mean, because your collection is really Rachel, but for your business for this year?
Or what do you want to see Logan and Rachel accomplish with the collection that is housed at your house?
I want them fuckers to start paying for themselves.
Breeding.
Yeah.
As
make some babies.
As a spouse, I 100% understand and agree and sympathize with that statement.
I will have Sambo babies at Conroe.
So I have a spreadsheet of every snake we've ever purchased, right? And they all have how much next to them, but I've never hit the auto sum button at the bottom because I didn't want to know.
Oh, Jesus.
But I did it the other day. And it's not nearly as much as some have invested, but they need to start their keep.
I mean, we got a whole clutch of rainbow boas in there, James.
That somebody won't sell.
They won't be going for a while.
I know. Frankenboa didn't make it. We're losing income here, man. They got to pay for themselves.
Difference is this is a hobby. I already go into it. No, I'm going to lose money. I'll have Samboas at Conroe. So
normally there's at least a litter of babies that pays for like food for the next year.
We also had a move.
We did.
Which really screwed up a lot of stuff. Anybody else that's ever had to move an entire collection, that really sets you back just because it takes a while for you to get settled along with your animals to get settled. That's a lot.
And it was like a 4-hour move. Like it was a 4.5-hour drive.
Yeah, which may not seem like, but it's
once you factor in stops, it was easy a 6-hour drive.
And then once you get here, you gotta get them all set up.
And
it's completely different setup in the new house and all. But I do want to get settled back in and get some of my projects going. I've got some boas that I'm raising up. I've got some boas that I'm very excited about raising up. So that's gonna be like a 2 or 3 year project out from where I am now. But and then I've got some stuff in the works with possibly Rachel for ball pythons and boa projects that we've got kind of going. So
like I don't even know what we really have anymore. I don't have time to go in the snake room anymore as much as I love the snakes.
Yeah.
She'll start telling me about and I'm like, okay. Sounds great.
You are speaking to my soul right now, Robert. You just don't even know
what's in there anymore. Like
what business wise though, for you, what are you hoping to accomplish over the next year? I know you've had to think of some ideas that you've got planned that you want to accomplish.
I want to do $1 million of sales next year.
You think that's feasible?
That's cool.
Yeah, I think it could be done. It's going to be. I say that, but if things keep going like they're going with supply chain price increases, et cetera, it's going to be hard enough just to stay in business.
Yeah,
it is. You luckily, Another rack company did go out of business recently. Some shady shit happened, but they did go out of business, which opens up if anybody needs a rack. And the recent company that went out of business was supposed to make you one.
Yep.
You can always call Lone Star. But the one thing that you do have going for you is supply chain is an issue for some things.
Correct. I
But
have plenty of PVC.
You got plenty of PVC.
Now it's heat tape and tubs.
But that's hitting everyone.
It is. I mean, I can get most of the tubs. The problem is now the prices have doubled.
Yeah.
On a lot of the tubs, and I was looking today at my tub supplier sent me a new price list yesterday, and I opened it up, and I've literally emailed them back, and I'm like, "Is this a typo?" Because some of those tubs that were $5-6 a year ago are $25 now.
Yeah.
And I understand this. Plastic is just through the roof. Polycarbonate. I'm not even going to offer the polycarbonate tubs anymore.
Good, they're a bitch to take apart when they're stuck together.
They would cost more now than the PVC would for the rack.
That's insane.
It is crazy. I just had to bring 18 of them in.
But you've got some other products that you're planning on doing over the next year.
So we built some cages yesterday. Worked out some kinks on some stuff. So I've got a couple of 2-footers. I got a 2x2x1.
Very bank account friendly cages.
Yep, a 2x18 by 1 cage that they're kind of prototypes. They work great. I'll probably let them go relatively inexpensive. But my goal is I'm going to make cages that I can a customer can easily assemble themselves.
Yeah,
and that I can produce quickly. One of my friends has another cage company, and he's kind of got the market on custom stuff and super high-end cages,
which are very nice cages.
He does a great job at that. I'm aiming the arrow at a different customer.
Yeah.
Well, that being said, I will not have them at shows. He and I have an agreement that he brings cages, I bring racks. It's a gentleman's agreement. It's worked out really well for us for the last 2 years.
Well, and this is kind of a reaction to there's another cage builder out there who everyone knows has a very long wait time.
Correct.
And people get fed up with that. And so now there's another option.
Well, the good thing about cages, like these cages, is as long as I have PVC and I have acrylic or glass, that's all I need. I can build a stack of these cages and have them all boxed up and ready to go. And the goal is you order them and I ship them out the next day.
So your big goal this year, I think, is to streamline that whole process, whether it's racks or cages.
I hope to be completely caught up on orders by the end of January.
Yeah.
That's the plan. I might have to eat beans and rice for a little while and ramen noodles.
Hey, we've been eating ramen for a while.
But
it's because we've been home and I refuse to order out for lunch every day.
But I hope to be completely caught up by the end of January. That way, sometime late February, early March, I could start offering some quick ship items. Like I want to have some of my more popular racks built, boxed, and ready to go. You order them, they go out the next business day.
Yeah, none of this waiting 8 months to get your stuff in.
That's the goal. Those will be racks with no tubs. You'll have to order your own tubs. I'll tell you what vendor to order them from. They'll have the heat tape and such, but you'll have to order your own tubs.
And obviously there will be a price difference between that and one with tubs.
Correct.
So if you're at a show and you're seeing one with tubs, that price for the quick ship will be less.
Right.
But you'll be responsible for
You'll actually get the rack faster than you'll get the tubs, probably.
I'm sure. Yeah.
But
on that, please don't be the person that's breeding snakes and then has eggs and the eggs hatch in 2 weeks. And
I had one
hey, can you get me a rack?
I had one of those today.
All the time.
Message me.
Stop doing that.
I've got snakes coming out of the incubator in about 10 days. Do you have any hatchling racks built? Yes, I do. Now, another person ordered one today or bought one today that I had a little custom weird thing we had, but
I like the colubrid racks you were doing. The little baby colubrid racks.
Yeah.
Darren Watson says, I need something 24 by 12 by 12 lightweight for tarantulas. You're talking in like acrylic or in PVC?
James Regoli says that you can give up one rainbow boa for the shop.
It's not happening. Rainbow boas. Rainbow boas will not be leaving my house for at least another 6 months.
Oh.
So.
I mean, I fuss and complain. I'll never go in that room, so I really don't even know.
Emily saw you took a selfie.
I know it wasn't very good though, so I trashed it. I was gonna post it on our Facebook page.
Well, if you're gonna, hey, we're taking a selfie. We both could be prepared for it, and it'd been a good selfie.
Oh no, it was just I was shaky, so it was blurry.
You got the shakes.
I need to go eat.
But so yeah, so that's the next year for the business. For Katie, you have anything you want to do the next year, reptile related?
Yeah, I want to add to my school collection.
Do you want to start feeding your home collection?
I've been feeding my home collection.
No, that's the ones that I have to feed. Do you want to feed them?
No, that's your job.
I don't want to fucking feed your snakes.
Yeah, but they're your job.
But they're not in my snake room, which makes it a pain in the butt.
Well,
Then I have to go to other places in the house. That's what I need.
Snakes.
I need more tongs for feeding, more forceps for feeding.
I'll get another rack and you can put her in there.
I wonder where I can get another rack at. Another rack.
I think I know a guy.
I do actually need another rack. But I need it with vision tubs. I need another vision tub rack.
Why? So it matches everything else?
Well, because that's all the tubs I use.
No.
But I've got some stuff that are moving that need to move up from the 18s into the 35S's that are getting bigger. So I need new racks.
Sounds like a good birthday present for the end of January.
Yeah, it's true. If only we knew somebody.
Fucking Harris County Toll Road Authority drives me insane. They just occasionally will just delete your credit card out of the system. And then it doesn't renew your balance. I just got a text message that said you have a negative balance and violations due. Open it up. It's $269.
Jeez.
Well, that's not encouraging because I just got my easy tag in the mail today.
That's the second time.
Not the
that's
tag,
happened,
the little
Sticker that goes in your window.
sticker.
But you figure I have 2 toll booths between work each way.
Mm.
And then the 288 toll road is the exit is a toll. And
you take the toll all the time.
yeah, I mean, it takes way too long to get there without taking the toll road.
Darren said he needs something acrylic. The problem with acrylic, Darren, is shipping. The other stuff that the PVC stuff is going to be PVC is going to be shipped flat pack and then you put together. The acrylic has got to be done in house because of the glue. It's got to be glued together. But maybe you can make a trip to Texas. Come on down. Anybody else? Is that it? Anybody else?
No, I have a lot of stuff planned for the year, but not a lot of it's reptile related. And
I do.
You have plans for tomorrow, but
what's tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow we're going to the zoo, but our child is also going to be interviewing you and asking you a handful of questions because she wants to work on her animal habitats badge.
Oh, okay, fun.
Girl Scout cookies are coming up soon.
That'll be fun.
Yeah,
we gotta learn new Girl Scout cookies because there's
it's the same cookies. It's just
different names.
We have a different baker, so it's different names. But they don't do pre-orders here. Like you just order however many cookies you think you're going to sell, and then you have to sell them. It's a little concerning. I don't know yet how I feel about this.
We would like to hear from listeners. If there's anybody in the hobby that interests you that you'd like to hear from, let us know and we'll reach out to them and see if we can have them on. Again, we're trying to get away from being a full-on interview podcast and more, again, back to the hobby and just kind of tips and what's going on currently in the hobby.
Yeah. Or like what podcasts do they listen to or what books do they read? Or
I would like to reach out to the Reptile Entrepreneur podcast. I'd like to have him on. I don't know what his actual voice sounds like, not on 1.5 speed though. Because that's all I listen to. Is 1.5 speed.
That is
so
true.
I think if I were to have them on and talk to them, it would be very weird because it's a lot of folks. I'm like, I don't know what their voice is, not sped up 1.5 times.
That's hilarious.
But I'm still trying to catch up on that one because there's a lot of interesting stuff on the Reptile Entrepreneur podcast.
I should listen to more podcasts.
They're very easy. I got new headphones for Christmas, which makes it easy. I used them in the shop. I got AirPod Pros. And I used them right next to the machine while the machine was running, and the noise cancellation thing works great.
Yeah.
And I was able to listen to a podcast and hear it.
That's good. That's another reason I got you the pros instead, because they have the noise cancellations and the other ones don't.
They are awesome.
Good.
So I was listening to on the Reptile Entrepreneur.
The lady at the AT&T store laughed at me.
Why?
Because I said, I need those headphones that go in your ears. And she goes, the AirPods? I'm like, yeah, that sounds about right.
Those headphones that go in your ears.
I don't like headphones like that. So I don't know anything about them. I want something that's going to cover my entire ear when I put it on my head. I don't want something that I
love these.
Stick down in my ear.
But those make it so much easier just to like be able to do stuff.
No, they hurt my ear.
That's why they come with several different types of
it doesn't matter what type.
You got weird ears?
I have weird ears.
Weird eared people.
With a textbook perfectly shaped eardrum. I've been told that on multiple occasions when I go to the doctor.
It's a weird thing for a doctor to tell you.
Yep. They're like, did you know that you have almost a perfectly shaped eardrum? Awesome. Take the fluid out of my ear. Let's move on with our day.
I do hope to get my new tortoises set up tomorrow. I'm looking forward to that.
We'll
Not
post
my new
lots of
tortoise,
pictures.
My tortoises set up in their new cages tomorrow. We will post. I'm gonna post lots of pictures. Just because I want people to also see it. It's an awesome cage design that Robert and I we kind of designed together, and Robert's kind of perfected. And I'm looking forward to giving my tortoise way more room to walk around in. So that'll get done tomorrow. As far as this year, animal wise for me, I'm gonna raise up these rainbow boas and figure out which ones I'm keeping and which ones I'm selling. Sell those at some point. I want to get some more Sambo more. I kind of want to get some. Talking to Jason Miller Radovich, I want to get some more rosy boas because I've only had the same kind of rosy boas for forever.
I just didn't have a good experience with rosy boas.
Really?
She's just the one I had was just super much an asshole, like big time.
I mind kind of bite, but I never handle them, which is probably another issue. But there's some really pretty like albinos because I love the bright oranges and reds you can get in some of them.
Yeah, they're pretty.
And so like some of the coastals and some of the other stuff. So I think that's another thing I want to do this year. And then I've also got to get a female black Russian Sambo at some point.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm hoping I can get an elusive type of Samboa that I really, really want as far as I'm going to go. But if it happens, I will tell everybody the moment I get it. I'm super excited about that. I have a connection that I'm hoping pans out. But that is kind of my goal for the year as far as snakes.
I have some like personal projects that are like crafting, quilting related that are also reptile related. Designs that I've had for the last few years that I would like to finally accomplish, and some different things that I'd like to do for other people. Not really anything for me.
You could make something that could be a giveaway.
I offered that.
Yeah, but that's something cooler.
You fucking asshole.
Oh, anyways, that's all we got at this point. This past year has been fun. I'm glad that y'all have been here. I'm glad I guess we didn't talk about we moved. That was a big thing that really happened this year.
That's actually, I've seen on my Facebook a lot today. It's been, what's one positive thing you can say from this year? And I've seen everything from like a friend of mine lost 60 pounds.
I've lost 40.
To someone else was like, honestly, I didn't have a big breakdown, which I thought was going to happen. I'm like, hey, small victories, because as someone who has breakdowns frequently, right. So I get that.
We talked about look for the next year. What is something that you are very proud of that happened this year?
We moved to Texas. We moved and it was successful and we didn't lose any animals in the process. And we are both on the right track to getting certified to teach here in Texas.
Yeah, I passed my test the other day.
And this is the happiest I've been in a long time.
Yeah, you love your school. Your new school. You love that new school.
Yes.
That's definitely happens. You've been for a while. I've seen. I like my
like
school.
Other people are noticing that I'm happy.
I don't dislike my school. I like my school. It's worked out. My test scores were better than everybody else's. That made me feel good.
Your test scores were fucking rock star test scores. You should be so proud of yourself.
Well, I am. I am. The move. I've been very happy about the move. Don't get me wrong. We lived in Louisiana for 17 years.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I miss a lot of people there on a very regular, frequent basis.
Yeah. It was 17. It was 15 years.
Yeah.
Something like that. Anyways, it's the longest I've lived in one place.
It was almost the
consecutively
longest that I've ever lived. It was short by like 3 years.
I miss my house.
I do miss
I do miss my house because it's an awesome house.
I miss the kitchen.
But it's been
like
a very
I
good
know
move.
That's so silly. But I miss the kitchen.
So I was very surprised we made the move. One, we don't tend to make big moves like that, but that is definitely thanks to Robert.
You and I do not make big changes. Period.
I don't like big changes, and this was a big one. But it's worked out great since we've been here. I've been to several concerts thanks to going on with Rachel. We went to basketball. We took Joe to a basketball game. We took her down.
Yeah, we're gonna be buying tickets for another one soon. They might be too. It's a Star Wars night.
Oh, that's cool. Basketball game. Yeah. So that's another thing is getting to go to basketball that we wouldn't have got to do in Central Louisiana because there's nothing. We took her down to that little wildlife fisheries aquarium. That was
the Sea Center, Texas.
Yeah, that was cool.
And it's free. It's free. Like they ask for a donation. I had $2 cash on me. I've dropped it in the jar. I think we spent like $15 in the gift shop.
It's a really nice place. They got like big ass tarpon stuff.
Yeah,
it was so fun.
So that was fun.
We ate at a Carl's Jr. that day.
Yes, God. It's like the only Carl's Jr. / Hardee's, so they don't have Hardee's over here, and I love Hardee's.
James loved it.
But no, the movie that we've done a lot of things, and we've really barely scratched the surface of what can be done around here. There are so many things in this area because we live here, and we're a lot closer to friends. Like this Friday, we're going over to Sean and Lori's for New Year's Eve. which we would not have done if we were still in Louisiana.
Mm-mm.
So that's great. We'll get to spend New Year's Eve with everybody and hang out and have fun. So I really enjoyed this move. Robert, for you, what is a big thing that you've done or has happened? What?
Ryan Cox, that'll never happen.
What do you mean she's
He
right?
says,
Robert,
at what point in 2022 will James admit Katie is right?
it's a moment it happens, I guess.
It's a rare occasion.
Darren says I still haven't been hog hunting. I have not been hog hunting.
3 times in like the last 17 years, I think that I've been right on something.
Darren, I haven't done a lot of things nature related yet because I have to be here 6 fucking months before I can get any sort of license for anything.
Yeah.
And just so I can be legal for all that shit, I'm waiting till 6 months. And then I've heard tons of stories of hopefully fishing, and Robert can take me hunting for the first time because I've never actually been hunting for anything other than like shooting a bird out of the tree when I was little, which is really fucked up now that I look back at it. But I've got like 3 more months, I think, in purgatory. No, in January.
Yeah.
January would be 6 months. So.
Mm-hmm. Unless they say it has to be 6 months since your Texas license. If that's the case,
I think I can show my address,
like our lease agreement that shows we moved in June.
I think
you can.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, you're good. We do, however, have appointments because in Texas, you've got to get your car inspected and then you can apply for a license plate for your car and then you get your driver's license, which is the weirdest shit I've ever heard of. But
yeah, I've always just gone and got my driver's license
and then did everything else. So, because I tried to make an appointment for that over this break.
I've got plans for a cool license plate for my truck. I'm excited about that one. I can tell you about it because I don't want it to be stolen. But so yeah. Anyways, what have you done this year that you're super proud of?
Moved into the shop and then expanded to the other shop next door.
You got your machine.
Got the CNC machine.
We have 2 shops full of PVC.
2 shops full of PVC.
Things that you did not foresee happening.
Oh, no. I mean, this time last year this time last year I was leasing time on a CNC machine.
Yeah.
And we're building the racks in my kitchen.
Yeah. Because we were still living in Louisiana. You had just come onto the podcast a couple months prior. And so I remember all that. That was a lot has happened in a year for your business. That is.
Yeah.
And there's a lot that I think is going to happen over the next year. It's really going to grow quickly. I think you're going to outgrow those 2 shops pretty quickly.
Yes. Yeah. It's I need about 10,000 square feet.
Yeah.
Is what I'm going to need. And right now I have 3.
Yeah.
That's counting the office space.
I mean, between storage area for the PVC you have, between storage area for racks that you plan on having pre-built, for other projects that y'all have planning, signs and all that. Yeah, it's going to be big. So I think it's going to be a big year for Lone Star Reptile racks outside of just the racks.
Yep.
But yeah, it's been a year. We will see. I'm done assuming that the worst is over with every year since 2019. So at this point, it's been a year. Next year will be another year, and we'll make it through it. Hopefully healthy. That is the goal. But that's all I got. This was our year in review, kind of our look forward to what's happening next year. I hope to have lots of interesting guests. I think I got to double check with a guest. I had a guest lined up for next week. I got to make sure they're still good to go. But hopefully that is going to happen. But that's it. Anybody else have anything else to say?
No.
It's been a fun year.
Yeah. Look forward to this next year. And hopefully it will be.
People like me. They really like me.
I look forward to February at Arlington. That'll be a lot of fun. I think getting to sit there, microphones, all this setup, and just hang out. Meet a lot of folks in person that we don't normally get to see at our
We will
shows.
have shirts by then. That is my goal.
We will. Yes. We have shirts. I just don't have where people can easily get to them.
Yeah.
But I will. All right. So thank y'all for listening. Thank you for listening for this past year. Thank y'all for listening for the past 96 episodes. Those of you that have made it from episode 1 to this. It's been a lot. I'm excited. I don't know. It's a lot. I've got to say a weekly podcast is a lot, but I enjoy it. It's fun. And Robert, that was for you. For the
awesome.
The Ouija board. I think it was the Ouija board one.
Mm-hmm.
So thank y'all for listening. We will be back next week. We took 1 week off last week. We are back next week
in a new year.
In a new year in 2022. So
stay safe this weekend. Don't drink and drive. And then for the next 2 weeks, you'll write the date down wrong. So enjoy that. Enjoy writing 21 and having to scratch it out all the time.
good night. Oh, if you want to get a hold of us real quick, if you want to get a hold of Robert,
lsreptileracks.com.
Yeah, if you don't know by now.
Also, no stupid questions, please. Just think it through. No stupid questions. Darren, there will be shirts.
I've been harassing him, Darren. He claims there was a screw up.
There was. I had it set up and then I fucked shit up. But it's coming. It is coming. I have not done a lot over the break other than I will. The first week of the break, I had a tooth removed that I did not plan on having yanked out.
He had major oral surgery.
I've had a molar removed from my face. My first
And
surgery
he had
ever.
to be put under for.
First time I've ever been put under for anything either, which was very interesting to go from there to just not there. Like I was.
You were so coherent when you woke up, though. It was a slight disappointment. I'm not gonna lie.
There was no like drunk me making up stories and stuff. Because I saw something the other day. It was a video on Facebook where the girl wakes up from surgery. She's walking out of the dentist office and she's afraid that the fish are drowning in the fish tank.
Yeah, no. You were a little more giggly. Like you found things a little more funny, just slightly.
No, I just have a better sense of humor than you.
No.
It's just different.
And you kept wanting to hold my hand on the ride home.
I'm so sorry.
And no.
No,
it was just, it was
I'm not gonna hold you anymore.
It was a little more than normal.
Hey, can you shut it over there?
That was
the men are talking.
That was
so
boy, I will take this flip flop off.
Oh, if you want to get a hold of us, it's the Reptile Gumbo podcast on Instagram, Facebook, or at gmail.com. Again, if there's anybody you're interested in listening to or want us to interview, you've heard on other podcasts, you want to hear some other points of views about stuff, let us know or reach out to them. Don't forget about our giveaway this month. Please go over and make a comment. It's pinned on our Facebook page. You can win a breeder block of Reptile Chip given to us by JT Tomlinson over at Reptile Chip.
And on the off chance that you want to get a hold of me, because for all these episodes that I've been on here, not a single motherfucker has ever asked how they can get a hold of me.
I figured the podcast
it's starting
email,
to bother me.
You're on the group. They can message you.
The group. You can message me through the group, and that's fine. But nobody ever asks, James.
There may be a reason for
Respect me, damn it.
First off, I'm told not to hold your hand so much. Now I'm told get your shit together, Katie. If anybody wants to talk to Katie, just find her. She's on Facebook. She's loud. Go find her. It's okay. Done?
Yes.
All right. Thank y'all for listening. Talk to everybody next week.
Bye.
Bye.